our guys were locked in and had a good couple days of practice. I said that yesterday. And really proud of the way our guys in the second half locked in and up 19, they stayed locked in. And I challenged them a little bit to come out in the second half and play well, and they did. And that's really good to see. Obviously, when you shoot the ball, make 11 threes, the game is easier for you. You get to set your defense, you're scoring, the crowd's energized, but we played really well today.
The way you shot it, the way the offense was, it just kind of leave you kind of shaking your head a little bit, like with our struggles this year. Why can't we kind of approach similar?
A little bit. I mean, some of it's basketball, and Jordan Roper wasn't playing well the first 2 months of the season, and that's probably all of our fault. It's not just Jordan's, and he's played much better in the last month, and it's really energized our team, and when he jumps up and makes shots and had some really good passes today, it takes a lot of pressure off other people, and we were able to have good balance. But Landry played really well in the first half. He had I think eight points in the first half, gave us a great mix. Jerron was very solid. He made 2 threes, which is a lot of times he'll make 1 or whatever. But and then our defense was really good. Our defense was outstanding against a 3-point shooting team. We covered shooters. I think we got 88% of our defensive rebounds in the first half. Because we're making shots, we were able to have our transition defense set because they had to take the ball out. So it all goes together, and that's the reason why you play this well.
A 35-point lead in an ACC game, what did that feel like to you?
Yeah, I haven't had that. That was an interesting feeling. But that's just, it's the part of it. There's still a lot of time left, and give Virginia Tech, give Buzz and his kids a lot of credit. They kept competing, and he won't let those guys give in, and they don't. They just keep playing, and they played better at the end when they started making shots. And but it was good for us to have a day like this. You need a day like this where you make shots, and it's just good for your confidence. And we'll hope that it continues when we play Monday.
Brad, what has changed for Jordan in this past month?
Oh, I don't know, really. I think he's just more energized. And, I've talked about, we had a conversation, a month ago or more now. And just, I think moving a little bit back and forth, 1 and 2, I think it confused him some. I think he's such a kid who thinks so much, almost too much sometimes, because he's such a conscientious kid. He's such a good kid that sometimes he just, he puts on a hat. He wants to be the 1 when he's a 1, then he wants to be a 2 when he's a 2. But when you're doing it back and forth all the time, he sometimes, just thinks too much. And he doesn't make as many shots. He's not as aggressive. And, it was seeping into other parts of his game. I just think he just didn't feel right. And that's all confidence. I mean, once he, started playing a little harder, not worrying about things as much, he started playing better in practice first. And then once he started playing better in practice, it came into games. And obviously he's played outstanding in a couple of these games.
Last time you had a quick turnaround and hurt you a little bit. With ACC games being as valuable as they are at this point in the season, are you worried about performing at this level again on Monday night?
Yeah, I mean, we've had a lot of these. This is our 3rd one, I think. It's hard. I mean, it's hard. You don't have a practice day. We can't guard the Georgia Tech offensive stuff like we would if we had 2 or 3 days to practice, and so you walk through it a little bit, but it's not the same. You can't practice different things that you want to do offensively to make adjustments sometimes, and so there's a lot of mental practice, but it's good coming off a win where we played well. Hopefully that keeps us energized, but Georgia Tech's a completely different team. They're not as dangerous a 3-point shooting team, but they're much more physical. They're much more like we are. They play physical, they rebound, they defend. Marcus Georges-Hunt's a very good player. They got big, strong guys around the rim. Like, our games with those guys are usually low scoring and just is hard.
Was setting your transition defense a big?
It was, but when you shoot it like that, it really helps you, because the thing that Virginia Tech does a great job of is they bring it with 4. Like, the undersized 4-man gets a rebound. There's no outlet. They just come at you, and they don't run any kind of traditional break. They basically just run the spots. The 4-man could be in the corner. He could be bringing the ball up, and so your guys are almost patterned to. One guy runs to the rim, one guy runs to the trail, wings in the corners. That's what 75% of basketball teams do. And so your habits, you know, I mean, obviously practicing for a couple of days helped us prepare for that.
After the heartbreaker the other night, how big was it to begin the game on a 10-0 run?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was important, but I said all week that I think our guys, you know, we were down, we were disappointed because we knew we had a chance to win a great game, but our guys were as energized on Thursday for practice as we've been in you know, as any time all year. Like, I thought we had a great practice Thursday, and that was when we did most of our tough work. And they came in energized. I mean, the kids were locked in and really ready to compete and practice that day, and we had 2 good practices, so I thought we would play well today.
You've had a lot of noon games, you've also had a lot of 9 p.m. games. For you personally, is there a preference? I mean, do you like the crowd energy better for maybe a Saturday afternoon game?
Yeah, but I don't know, you know, I think it's hard for some people to come to noon games. I think, you know, 2 or 4 or something is probably ideal for Clemson people, because usually some of them are coming from a little farther. It's, you know, it's interesting to just wake up and play. I like winning at noon and having all day to enjoy the win and watch other people suffer. And, today will be more of a work day though, because of a game on Monday. But, you know, 9 o'clock games are hard just because it's a long day. But it's you know, it's part of playing in this league. Just TV dictates a lot of different things.
Early in the game, when one guy makes a shot and another guy makes a shot, do you think that just, they feed off of each
Yeah.
other? It seems like in the start of each half, it really played.
Yeah, it's contagious, there's no doubt. I mean, shooting, it's like shooting anything. Shoot free throws well, shoot threes, you know, the basket looks bigger for everybody. It just seems like, you know, there's a rhythm there that guys run into, and you know, we certainly found that today. And, you know, conversely, when you're not making shots, we've seen that movie before, it becomes harder to make an open shot when your guys aren't making them. And, you know, so yes, I do believe shooting can be contagious.
With a quick turnaround for Monday, not having to have those guys maybe play in such stress situations, playing with a 15, 20-point lead, does that help you Monday maybe, that you got some other
Well,
guys?
we've been, you know, by this time of the year, you've done everything. I mean, you've played with a big lead, you've played from, you know, 25 down, you've played in games that are, where we like Wake, where we were down basically the whole game and just had to keep fighting. You know, you've played 25 games, you've probably been in a lot of different scenarios. So, you know, we've been in this scenario a couple times. The Boston College game was very similar, where we had a big lead, you know, 32 minutes you got to play with a 15-point lead, and, you know, it just changes things a little bit, but it certainly is it's a great start.
Right, I know us as reporters like to talk about how the Notre Dame win against Notre Dame could have been big for NCAA tournament resume, that type of thing. Do you guys talk NCAA tournament at all? You're kind of still there, keeping yourself in the.
You know, not much. Not much. We just talk about playing our best and competing at a high level, and you know, guys know where things stand. And you know, we've been on the outside looking in for a while. Certainly a win or two would have really helped, but we didn't use that as like, let's beat Notre Dame to get into the NCAA. I mean, because there's still so many more things you have to do. You know, the hard part about that is like everybody wants, like, you know, it's a must win. You know, I've been asked that about 3 times this year. Then we win the game, and it's like, well, then the next one feels like a must win too. I mean, you know, so, you know, if you lose those games, it's not like they cancel the season. I mean, you still got to play. So it's just, you know, I think it's hard as a coach sometimes to just keep guys motivated, make sure everybody's on the same page, in the right mindset. You know, it's hard to do that. It's hard for teams to play well consistently when you have to play 30 times. I think that's one of the unique things with basketball as opposed to football, is we play 3 times more games, and it's just, there's going to come nights when you don't play as well, and then, you know, you got to fight and figure it out, or you got to bounce right back and try to win the next one. You know, a little bit more like a baseball mentality. There's almost a mix there that we all kind of deal with.
Okay, thank you.